keeping the quarterback upright. Rams have some serious pass rushers once you break it down.
Second best in the league with 47 sacks. They really have the big three are their sack artists. Aaron Donald, we all know, but his kryptonite is already in the game with Daniel Brunskill. But Aaron Donald with 12.5 sacks, Leonard Floyd with 9.5 sacks, and Von Miller trailing in third with 8.5. They did just have the 1 sack against the Niners in the game that unfolded back in mid-November, but that was a game where the 49ers ended up running the ball 44 times. It's hard to imagine the 49ers getting rolling on that level yet again. You would think the Rams will basically sell out to stop the 49ers from being able to do that. I don't know that they can. I mean, honestly, quite frankly, Kyle Shanahan has shown an ability to get creative against Sean McVay and his defenses. So it's potentially something that the 49ers can do. I doubt it. I think it works out where the 49ers have to rely on the pass game a little bit more. And it sets up in a very uncomfortable situation with this dominant defensive line. And it raises the question of which quarterback and which playing style is more beneficial going against a ferocious pass rush.
Well, I'm probably going to go, I'll have to err on the side of Jimmy in the sense that we've seen him do it. Like, the Rams want to take away the big play in the passing game. He's not a big play thrower. He wants to dink and dunk, and they concede it. So it's a good matchup for him. It really works. Like, he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. His receivers are open fast, and those pass rushers are not really a factor. Now, we don't know what it would look like with Trey Lance. The Niners might be able to run the ball even better and not have to throw much and win easily. Or when he holds the ball a little too long and looks for the big play, maybe that feeds right into their hands, because while he's fast, so is Von Miller. So is Leonard Floyd. Are you really going to run away from those guys? I don't know. He hasn't been running away. He didn't run away from Justin Reed last week. So I don't know. I mean, if he can play like he did in the second half, where he really was getting the ball out of his hands quickly and throwing with anticipation, maybe he can do it too. But yeah, it's really important to get the ball out of your hands quick against the Rams.
It is. This is a high risk, high reward type of a situation when you're able to extend the plays against the Rams, because if you are able to look confident in escaping the pocket and extend the play and hit Debo or Ayuk deep, that's fantastic. If, however, you are unaware spatially of those around you, a guy like Aaron Donald does not let up on his pursuit of the quarterback. And if you hold on to the ball for 3+ seconds and don't have your head on a swivel, that could set up for a sack fumble. And that could be the difference in this game, right? If they're able to get to the quarterback, that would be a critical turning point for the 49ers.
Now, again, my theory is that while Jimmy Garoppolo may be a better matchup against the Rams, theoretically, I don't think he's healthy enough to play in this game. And I don't think he will. I think Trey Lance will. So does that mean that Trey Lance is going to get sacked a lot? Not necessarily. If he holds on the ball a long time and tries to escape out of the back of the pocket, I think he'll get run down by Von Miller and Leonard Floyd. I do.
Right.
And I'd like to see him start doing this, if you're watching, Trey. If you step up and scramble through the A-gap, I think it'll be wide open. And I think that's where you're going to be most effective. When you need to get downhill fast, I do think he's fast, but for some reason he doesn't seem to explode around the perimeter. So step up in the pocket and run through the A-gap. And I think you could get big gains in this game against the Rams that way.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it sets up to where the weaknesses for the Rams are their linebackers and their safeties, right? If you're looking at components within that defense that you're attempting to attack. And so when you go back to if Jimmy's healthy enough to play, which I know that you don't believe he is, but I think there's a question of that.
I don't know.
He's able to attack those levels, right?
Yeah.
He's got the quick release. He gets it out quickly. That neutralizes the pass rush, and he's attacking the spots in the defense that are weak to begin with. I think what you're suggesting for Trey makes a lot of sense in allowing him to then attack those weaknesses as well, right? I think
it's scary to step up in the pocket against Aaron Donald, though. I don't know.
Very scary, right? To step right into the heat of that defense.
Yeah.
To me, he has not been decisive in his runs. And I think that just minor hesitation is enough in the NFL to allow those even defensive linemen to catch up to you. But Von Miller, when you're talking about speed edge rushers, he's right up there. Even coming off of the injuries, he's certainly fast. So I think that if Trey continues to hesitate in those runs, you're spot on that Von Miller's going to be all over him. And I would think that heading north and south for Trey is the key to victory, as opposed to trying to get around the edge, unless he's going to be very decisive. We just haven't seen the elite speed from him yet. It hasn't jumped off the tape.
But I also don't think he just runs to run. Like Kyler Murray sometimes runs to run. I don't think he does that. I think you saw it as the game went on. He really does want to hit those throws in rhythm with anticipation when he can. And I think he scrambles to avoid pressure. And I do think he's really good at that. I've been trying to talk about that all week. I think his ability to avoid pressure is way better than Colin Kaepernick's ever was. I mean, this guy is very quick feet in the pocket, dropping back, moving around, and he's fat. He's strong. I mean, strong. So if you get an arm on him, you're not going to take him down with a hand or an arm. I mean, he's really good at that. So if he's not trying to like just run around in circles for the sake of it, and he might actually be, well, he certainly is better equipped to avoid pressure if he faces it than Jimmy is.
Yes, most definitely. It is, to me, it's interesting if a play breaks down when Jimmy's under center and it goes longer than 3 seconds, usually the end result is not good, right? You're like, uh-oh, this is going to end poorly. It's going to be a sack. It's going to be an interception. It just typically doesn't end up as a shot play. Whereas with Trey, he does have a pretty good pocket awareness for a young player. I mean, he has moved around a couple of times where someone gets an arm on him. He shirks that tackle. He is a bigger guy. Yeah, and keeps his eyes downfield and does take that shot and scores with one of these amazing wide receivers that continue on the play. And that's an element that just is totally missing from Jimmy Garoppolo. It will simply be a question of, what comes first? Is Trey able to get out, extend the play, and take those shots? Or is he escaping and then hit by one of these big three and it causes a turnover? That difference, if Trey is starting, that difference could be what decides this game.
And again, a reason you don't want to start a rookie in this game is all it takes is one mistake.
Right.
All it takes is one. You could play great the whole game, but it's probably going to be a low-scoring, tight game because it's Week 18, so much on the line, divisional opponents. That's usually coaches won't be taking a lot of big risks. It's probably going to come down to one mistake. Is it going to be you? And if it is, how could you really be surprised? I mean, it's his 4th start in the last 2 years. It's exactly why they are going to take this up to game time and basically ask Jimmy Garoppolo every 5 minutes, how's it feel? How's it feel? What do you think? How you feel? You good? Can you do it? What do you think? He's like, it hurts. It still hurts. It still hurts. It still hurts. I feel you, man. Sorry, Jimmy. Hold your ground.
With a couple of F-bombs in there for enunciation, for enthusiasm, whatever word I'm searching for there.
Both. George says, even if we get in, George, you're amazing. Thank you. Even if we get in the playoffs, every receiver out there will kill us. Our defense will struggle. It doesn't matter which one is the quarterback. Defense wins championships. Offense win you games. Okay, I feel that too. That's interesting. That could happen in this game.
Just to ask that question, if we just accept that the 49ers are probably going to lose in the playoffs, like I don't accept that, but if we say they're not going anywhere, does that change the importance of this game, or does it still matter, right? Does it still matter just to make the playoffs, even if you know you're done after that? I would argue, I have a firm argument, but I'd like to hear yours.
Well, no, I don't know if they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. I don't know that. You might expect that. I have no idea. So, and if they play Trey Lance, they just might go all the way. So, no, definitely give yourself a chance. You never know what's going to happen.
Yes, I am all about that. Chip in a chair is all you need. I have seen miracles happen. It does happen.
Daryl Jameson says, if Kyle actually took the time to develop Trey this season, we would have been in a better situation come Week 18. Instead, we doubled down on Jimmy. Yes, double down. It was the same mistake that John Favreau made in Swingers. He didn't have the cash to double down, even though that was the correct play. That's what they would tell you to do. Vince Vaughn said it, but it wasn't his money. He told his friend to double down, lost his money. Boom. There's your Vegas trip right there. I don't think that has anything to do with what he was talking about, but it reminded me of that scene. I like that scene.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can bring in swingers, you do it, Grant.
Man, the 90s were a long time ago. It makes me feel old.
Oof.
I listened to Coolio this week. Remember Coolio? Coolio was
great,
and he was not a one-hit wonder for the record. He had lots of good songs. Just wanted to say that.
Good.
Tyrone B says Trey's experience is way more important than making the playoffs. I'm not a per-season Niner fan. I'm a Niner fan for life. The ultimate goal is to develop our future. quarterback and get back to a winning dynasty. Yeah, I feel you. And this was it's like an evergreen comment. This is true in August. It's true. It's just it's tough to say that now. It's January.
Yeah, I just don't know that one single game worth of experience outweighs making the playoffs and having that chip in a chair mentality and realizing that anything could unfold in January. Like, you only get certain windows, and you may assume that Trey is going to open the next Super Bowl window. But what if this is the closest the Niners get to the Super Bowl for the next 5 years, right? You cannot pass up these opportunities.
Right. I would start Lance because I think he gives the Niners the best chance to win, not because he needs experience.
Yes, that needs to be your reasoning for starting.
That's the only reason. Yeah. And again, that's because I think Jimmy Garoppolo is seriously injured.
Right.
But I don't have any inside information. If we can stop Aaron Donald and Von Miller and keep whatever quarterback is playing clean, the Niners have proven to have a remedy for the Rams, even with remedy. That's true. It's absolutely true.
Do you think the Niners are going to get the run game going with the same efficiency that they did? I mean, let's be honest, 44 carries, but it wasn't a crazy per carry average.
That's a topic coming up. That's going to be probably a bigger factor than which quarterback plays. So I'm saving that. But yeah, it's a really important topic. Bear with us. George again. Thank you, George. Aaron Donald is like, who is Deebo Samuel? Deebo is like, I don't care. He's going to know who I am. Should know by now. Because Deebo is the one that the Rams just can't do anything with. They're soft. They can't tackle him. It's because you're soft, Rams. We're calling you soft. Yes. I'm not even a Niner fan, and I'm just an impartial observer, and I'm like, yeah, you are soft. That's why you lose to the Niners all the time.
I would almost guarantee that someone in Deebo's camp. Yeah. Yes.
Soft. That's why I think of you, Rams.
I would almost guarantee somebody in Deebo's camp puts together a highlight reel of Aaron Donald asking that question and plays it for him Sunday morning.
Love that. Why does Brunskill only play like a top 3 guard against Aaron? BTW is pronounced Samaj. Haha, love the show. Appreciate you, man. Samaj official. Is that official? Because you missed the second I. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. It's a fickle. I'm just saying. Why does Brunskill? That's a mystery, Scooby-Doo. I don't know. The Hardy Boys will have to tell us that one.
Yeah, it's wild. Bring in the Blues Clues.
Nancy Drew, Blues Clues, man. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of it is how the Niners play offense. The ball's out of the quarterback's hands instantly. So what does Aaron Donald do? And then he's defending the run. I just don't think they really give Donald an opportunity to do his thing.
Yeah, the question becomes, will Brunskill still look the same if we are starting Trey Lance and there are more seconds that he has to defend Aaron Donald?
No, he won't. Every decision made this season and offseason warrants a mass firing in the front office and Shandy trade. Dude, Kyle, I didn't even say that. That's someone named Chris. And you know what? He brings up a good point. So my advice as your attorney, win this game. I think it's in your best interest. I think. Kyle Green says, I think they need to keep the game plan simple for Trey. I also think they need to get Kittle involved. We need help at DB. We're in trouble. Yep. Yeah, get Kittle involved sooner, man. That was crazy. He was not involved in the game until the very end. Can't happen. Too important. I don't care who the quarterback is.
Just 35 yards for Kittle to become the second leading tight end as far as number of yards over the first 5 NFL season. He wants to pass Kellen Winslow for that number 2 spot. Just 35 yards needed.
You remember who made it fashionable to just throw to Kittle all the time? That was Mullins. Jimmy was over here trying to be like Tom Brady, spread the ball around. Mullins came in and was like, oh, I get one opportunity. I'm throwing to George Kittle 80 times today. Thank you very much.
I know who my guy is.
Yeah, and then like Jimmy's on the back in the sideline, like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. I should have thought of that. Yeah. Dylan says, "What's your guys' over/under for number of sacks Niners have on Sunday, and which D line has the best game?" Oof. I think the Niners should have more sacks because I don't know. Stafford holds the ball longer than Jimmy, and he's less elusive than Trey. So how about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's as lopsided as it was the last time, which I think was 4 sacks for the Niners D-line and just 1 for the Rams. I anticipate the Rams get multiple sacks in this one, so I think it'll be close, but I'd say like 4-3 Niners.
Frank Hanna says, hoping for lots of design play action shots early. I think they expect the Niners to try to run would be a good way to loosen them up. What do you think? Yes. I do agree with that. Don't wait until the third quarter to take your shots. If you take them early, you might be able to just cruise with the run game the rest of the game. Thank you, Frank. Moisha says, great work, Grant. This is just a nostalgic Madden tribute. His call of the catch 2 final drive was incredible. Garrison Hurst is a real man. Wow, shiver still. Yeah, I was so happy when they won that game. I was 10, maybe 11. That was a good time.
That was phenomenal.
Brett Favre. Oh, man, that was it.
I was there, so I didn't hear the
call. You were there? Wow. Joe Stull says Jimmy's Dunzo. Trey Lance's legs and arms with the combination of Debo showing AD who he really is. We're going to the playoffs as long as Kyle trusts Trey. You think he does? Do you think he does? Maybe he does. He started 2 in the second half.
Yeah, he got in a rhythm, and if he can keep that going, man, it could be electric.
Jamison Wang says Kyle wanted Mac. He only agreed to take Lance given he would be allowed to sit him a year. Kyle is stubborn. That's why we haven't seen Lance this year, even though it's clear Lance would be playing. That's possible. So he's saying, I wanted Mac. And they're like, no, you can't have Mac. And he's like, okay, I also like Lance, but only if I don't have to play my rookie year. And they're like, fine. His rookie year, fine. And so that's why he would dig in his and not change his mind. That's plausible. Makes sense. But I don't know. I feel you. I appreciate the detective work, Jameson. It seems as plausible as any theory I've heard yet. I'm going to think about it. Because he's been awfully stubborn. Michael Durant says, I believe Kyle and John wanted Zach Wilson and traded all the draft capital to get him and got the rug pulled out from under them by Saleh and LaFleur, and they got stuck picked between Lance and Jones. If that's the case, they were the only people really in the league that thought the Jets weren't going to take Zach Wilson. Now, when the Niners traded up, I thought the same thing, like, oh, Saleh must have told him that he's not going to take Zach Wilson. But no, they took Zach Wilson. So I don't really know what that – yeah, I hear you, though, Michael.
I love that there are still so many conspiracy theories out there at this point in the season.
And honestly, if someone wrote a book this year and was like, this is exactly what happened, like people would be like, yeah, I don't know about that, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it. Irvin says better scenario, Trent Williams and Jimmy plays or Trent doesn't play and Trey plays. Trent and Jimmy plays or Trent doesn't play. And I think you want Trent on the field.
That's
Trent.
a fact.
Trent.
Yeah, whatever scenario puts Trent Williams at left tackle, I'm taking that.
Yeah. George says George Kittle is a Jimmy lover, so if Jimmy is starting, he's going to be showing up. The train is starting. Trey is going to throw to Debo or Brandon. Are you doing voice some Debo, or is it you wrote Debo and they changed it to Debo?
I'm thinking it's probably talk to text. That's my guess.
Text?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never done talk to text, but I'd like to try it.
As you can see, it's not great.
It doesn't look great. Taylor Allen says Trey has played 19 meaningful football games since he was in high school. This alone shows us all, especially those Jimmy Riders, that Trey is the guy. He's quite good for having never really played the sport ever. It's amazing.
Imagine how much better he'd be if he had gotten a lot of snaps this year.
Imagine what he's going to look like when he's 25. And we're not going to really be talking about 2021, but imagine 2025. He'll be 24, 25. He'll be way bigger. He'll be way better, most likely, if he hasn't gotten hurt. He does have some crazy upside. Excited to see if he can fulfill it. You always root for quarterbacks. Why not? Yeah. Michael Durant says the time of the trade was Zach Wilson pro day and the Jets still had Sam Darnold. The Sam Darnold trade happened after the Niners already traded the picks. True. Maybe Saleh lied to him. Was like, yeah, we're not taking a quarterback. We're taking Kyle Pitts. Yeah, we're just going to take a tight end. Possible. Michael Durant, thank you for your service. If they don't make the playoffs, trade Kyle and go get Harbaugh back. Oh, hey, we got to put out a poll. I bet you here's the thing. If the Niners lose and I put that poll out, I bet you 80% of Niner fans just out of anger say, yeah, do it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I might even say that after a loss.
Hey, look, here's the thing. The idea of Harbaugh coaching Lance is intriguing. But there's no way that Harbaugh and Jed York could ever work together again. Do you understand the level, what that apology from Jed York would have to look like? There is no apology. It couldn't happen. It's never going to happen.
They not only burned that bridge, they then urinated on it afterward.
Oh, yeah. I mean, then they nuked it after that. Yeah, it's over.
It's not happening.
That is scorched earth. That's true. Yeah, I just woke up to watch a show. I don't feel like texting. It's still morning where I'm at. I feel that. I was just trying to guess. No disrespect. I appreciate you, George. Really, I was just more impressed. And it now is made me feel like I got to experiment. I got to dabble. Because even when they get it wrong, it's kind of funny.